Alrighty, hello friends, and welcome into this brief, short episode of Talking Sports at Work post-game edition. Today is Monday, the first Monday after the first full Sunday of NFL games this week, and so there's obviously a lot to talk about, but a couple things. One, I don't have a ton of time because I got to go pick up the kids, and you guys know what my schedule's like. Excuse me. And two, I'm also trying to find ways to do shorter episodes anyway, and so I think I'm just going to do maybe like one subject at a time. And so for this episode right now, we got to talk about the most important thing. I mean, that Bills-Ravens game was amazing. I, obviously being an old person now, fell asleep in the third quarter, but I finished it this morning. Amazing game. A lot of stuff happened. Aaron Rodgers still can play football, as it turns out. Micah Parsons is a force on the Packers. But the Tennessee Titans, they're the most important thing for me as far as the NFL goes, and so that's what I want to talk about. And man, there's a lot to talk about. I'm probably not even going to have enough time here, but I'm going to do my best. Anyway, I am Derek. That's Itchy over there, sleeping through it as usual. So look, I know it's week one, and there's still a lot to take away from this. That being said, often week one results are crazy and unpredictable stuff happens, and what a team looks like in week one is nothing like what they're going to look like in December. So hopefully that is the case for Tennessee. The problem is that so many of the same issues that plagued us last year are the same reason why we lost at Denver this week. It was the penalties, excuse me. I think we ended up with somewhere between 11 and 13 penalties for the game, and that was a huge issue. We had, a chance to get the ball back and maybe go and take the lead, and then we had the Jeffrey Simmons unnecessary roughness. There were so many pass interference, so many drive extending penalties on defense and drive killing penalties on offense. The majority of them did seem to be on defense, but look, I'm trying to give him some time and some faith and some belief, but I said this many times last year. There are some things that people on the outside can look at and judge a coach. Most of what a coach does goes on outside of our view. I mean, 90% of their job, if not more, is done without us watching. But there are indicators we can look at. Discipline is a big one, and that team lacked discipline. Also, the play calling. Come on, man. I mean, I was watching for the first quarter and a half and thinking, he's being really conservative. I don't hate it, but it feels like at some point, turn him loose. Let's see what he can do. I mean, it's not like there's a ton of pressure or expectation on us. We're 8.5-point underdogs here on the road against a really good defense. Let's turn him loose. Let's see what But they were very conservative with the play calling. And then, for some reason, at the end of the half, you're backed up at your own 5-yard line. He decides to start throwing 3 passes in a row. It's like, what changed? You should have either done this earlier in the game, or you just don't do it there. I mean, dear Lord. And almost got a safety. I mean, he just barely escaped the end zone, but it was ridiculous. It was poor play calling. Also, I'm glad other people saw it because I thought maybe I'm crazy, but now I saw Mike Florio talk about it on Pro Football Talk. Also on my website, the one I write for, Titan Sized, we have an article on there about it. He should have challenged that Iomanor catch. That was a catch. I saw it. I said, why is he not throwing the flag? Sean Payton's already challenged 2, if not 3 by that point, and won 2 of them. Why is there no one in his ear telling him to challenge this? Why is he not looking at that? Come to find out, he didn't even know the rule. I'm not making this up. In his post-game interview, he was asked about it. Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, said, yeah, we saw the replay. We know he got his elbow down, but one elbow, you also need to have at least 1 foot in as well. Nope. Not the rule. Never been the rule. No idea where that came from. 1 elbow, 1 other body part, 1 butt cheek, 1 elbow counts as 2 feet. Every educated fan knows that. I guarantee you I know one person who knows that. It's the coach the team fired 2 years ago, who's now in New England. And I'm not even going down that road because you guys know how I felt about that and still feel about that. But Brian Callahan, as much as I want him to do well, as much as I want him to be good, it's just over and over with this stuff like, come on, man. I don't think he's going to be a good NFL head coach. He might be a good offensive coordinator. I don't know. I mean, he never even called plays in Cincinnati, so we don't know that for sure. But unfortunately, I'm afraid we're going to end up in a similar situation that the Bears put Caleb Williams in, where Cam Ward's rookie year is essentially just wasted. And I thought I would not have been angry if we would have fired Brian Callahan and started over with a new GM, new coach, new quarterback this year. But I said, you know what? He had a lot of bad things go wrong, although I felt like he got off really easy and people didn't give him enough blame for the way things went last year. It all went on Will Levis. It all went, on the rest of the roster, on Rand Carthon. Brian Callahan got off pretty easy last year. Now he has no more excuses. And now all the fingers are pointing at him. Go look at our website at titansize.com. I've got an article I just submitted that should be up hopefully tomorrow, where I actually looked for the positives, looked for the reasons to be optimistic after that game, because I looked at what everyone else had already written, and it was what you would expect. I mean, honestly, we had every opportunity to, if not win that game, at least tie it. And it's the coach. Now, can he get better? Absolutely. Can they cut down on the penalties? Absolutely. Is week 1 often an aberration? Yes. But when it's the same crap that was the problem last year, and there's then there's really no reason to believe it's going to get better. Now, there are some things to be very hopeful about, some things to take away, some big positives. Number 1 was Cam Ward. Now, his stat line is not going to blow anybody away. It was like 12 for, I don't know, something, 112 passing yards. It wasn't great. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Excuse me. But if you watch that game, that dude is it. Now, small sample size. This is the first time we've actually seen him play in a meaningful NFL game. But my Lord, man, all you've got to do is go and watch that final drive to see how the stat line, A, didn't reflect how well he played, and B, what kind of dude this is. With all the pressure on the world, under a minute left, down by 8 against a great defense in their building in a notoriously difficult place to play. First down. Throws a back shoulder pass to Iumanor. Now, the timing was off. It's rookie to rookie. You can forgive them for that, both of them. I don't know if it was the receiver or Cam Ward's fault, but the timing was off. That chemistry will improve, and Iumanor, I still don't know. Iomanor, I think, is how they're saying it now. I thought it was Iomanor, but I don't know. He's going to be a star. If nothing else, he's going to develop into a very solid starting receiver very soon, and already looks it. That chemistry will improve, so honestly, you can forgive that one. Second down is the one that everybody's got to be. I lost my mind almost. So did Cam Ward's father. It's second down, 2nd and 10. It's okay. The protection's good. Throws a perfect pass, 15 yards across the middle. Hits Calvin Ridley in the hands, and it falls incomplete. That was at least the second one Ridley had dropped in the game. A guy that I love. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's got to get that stuff figured out really quickly. And then third down, Ward throws another very catchable ball. Maybe the timing was off, but Okonkwo turns around and couldn't get it. Should have been caught, I think, especially given the situation. And now it's 4th and 10, and then on 4th down, the right side of the line just collapsed or let a free rusher through, and he sacked and fumbled, and that's it. And also, another bright spot, I felt like, was the offensive line until J.C. Latham got hurt. Now, bear in mind that as a Titans fan, if you've watched them for the last few years, it's a pretty low bar to have for improvement and quality offensive line play. But it definitely looked better than last year. Now, once Latham went down, it definitely took a dip. I mean, that's when you saw that other dude, Udo or whatever his name was, who came in for him, just getting bullied on the right side. And, yeah, the protection really, really went bad. I thought I've seen some negative opinions on him. I actually thought that Dan Moore did okay, especially given the fact that he was going one-on-one up against probably the most underrated pass rusher in the league in Nick Benito for most of the game. And he did okay. I mean, most of the game, Ward had a clean pocket. The interior guys did their job. Zeitler's obviously still got plenty in the tank. Skoronski did well. Cushenberry, I didn't see any real problems with him. Latham was excellent until he went out, and I thought Dan Moore, except for, an early holding call, and, he wasn't going to win every time against Benito. I thought overall the offensive line looked really good, especially when you compare it to what it's been the last couple of years. So that's another bright spot. The special teams. Also, that was a thing that I gave Brian Callahan all kinds of hell for last year, was much better, worlds better now with, I believe John Fossil is there coaching them. I mean, special teams was, you held your breath every time we kicked it off or punted because they just couldn't tackle, they couldn't cover. That was not the case in this game. We actually got another turnover. We had four takeaways in that game. And that was the other bright spot that I was about to get to, was the defense. Which is more important than the special teams, but the special teams was a big deal as well. The defense, I thought, looked excellent given expectations. Now, what's the deal with L'Jarius Sneed? He was out there for some of the first half. The defense looked excellent, and then he wasn't, and the secondary was very questionable. Jarvis Brownlee, penalties, mistakes, I just don't know about him. McCreary is great, but without Sneed, I worry about the secondary some, but that front seven, man, yeah, they're for real, and that's even without Harold Landry. Femi Oladejo, too. I don't know if many people noticed this, but he wasn't very good in the preseason. He didn't have a lot of stats. I don't even know if he had any. I know he didn't have any sacks or tackles for loss. I don't know what his stat line was, but if you watched him, like I was paying attention, that's our second-round pick. He was good. He put some pressure on Bo Nix. He looks like he's adjusting to that edge rusher position, and exactly what I said I thought might happen is happening, and Denard Wilson is kind of moving him around and using him as that chess piece because of his versatility. So, very happy with that. Jeffrey Simmons looks as good as ever. I mean, he leveled Bo Nix with that strip sack. Devondre Sweat was a monster, obviously. So the front seven, Cody Barton's good. Yeah, they look good. The secondary, hopefully Snead can get back healthy, but overall the defense I thought played really, really well against a team that many people are saying are going to dethrone the Chiefs in the AFC West, and the Titans gave them all they could handle. Now, the play calling was poor, a lot of drop passes. The defense could only do so much, but overall, there were plenty of bright spots and silver linings in that game, and so that's what I'm going to try to focus on. And will Brian Callahan improve? Will he continue to be the coach next year? I don't know. I mean, I hope he improves, but we'll see. Right now, it's going to be very hard for this young rookie quarterback and all of these young players, which were really the biggest bright spots, I think, of the game. Cam Ward, Iomanor, DK made some plays. Gunnar Helm was good and is only getting better. I really think this team has some good young pieces and is going to get better. Are they going to have to overcome bad coaching? I really hope not. That looks like it might be the case, but we'll see. Anyway, I am out of time. I got to get going, so stay tuned. I will do another episode tomorrow. We'll call it episode 2, I guess, or whatever. But this is the official season 3 of Talking Sports at Work, episode 1. I know it's a mini episode, but we still got to dive into the Vols and how Joey Aguilar looks like a star. We got to talk about some stuff with ESPN that's going on. We still got a lot more to dive into with the Titans and college football. So stay tuned, and yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. All right, love you, bye.